Impartiality in a laboratory under the ISO 1 IEC 17025 standard. What is impartiality? Impartiality in a laboratory refers to the ability to perform activities without influence or bias that could affect the objectivity of the results. In simple terms, it is the guarantee that all tests and calibrations are carried out fairly and without external influences that could alter the results. Why is impartiality important? The importance of impartiality lies in the credibility and trust that a laboratory can provide to its clients and the scientific community. An impartial laboratory ensures that its results are reliable and can be replicated by others, which is essential to maintaining integrity and complying with regulatory and legal requirements. Impartiality in the ISO Naturus IEC 17025 standard. The ISO IEC 17025 standard sets out specific requirements to ensure impartiality in laboratory operations. This standard is an international benchmark that specifies the general requirements for the competence, impartiality, and consistent operation of testing and calibration laboratories. Below are the main aspects related to impartiality according to this standard. 1. Management commitment. Laboratory top management must demonstrate a clear commitment to impartiality. This includes establishing policies and procedures to ensure that all laboratory activities are conducted without undue influence. Management should promote a culture of impartiality and transparency within the laboratory at all times. 2. Risk identification. The laboratory must regularly identify and assess risks to its impartiality. These risks may arise from personal, commercial, financial, or other relationships that could influence the results of tests or calibrations. Adequate assessment of these risks allows the laboratory to take preventive measures to mitigate them. 3. Conflict of interest management. It is essential to manage any conflicts of interest that may arise. Conflicts of interest can compromise the impartiality of tests or calibrations. Therefore, the laboratory must have clear procedures to identify, document, and manage these conflicts. This may include staff rotation, separation of duties, and the implementation of internal audits. 4. Personnel independence. Laboratory personnel must be independent and not subject to any internal or external pressure that could influence their work. This means that employees should have no personal interest in the results of tests or calibrations and should be free to perform their work without interference. 5. Transparency and communication. Transparency and effective communication are key to maintaining impartiality. The laboratory must clearly communicate to its clients and stakeholders its commitment to impartiality and the steps it takes to ensure it. Transparency in processes and procedures strengthens clients' confidence in the laboratory's results. 6. Continuous review and improvement. The laboratory must regularly review its procedures and practices to ensure impartiality. This includes internal and external audits, management reviews, and the implementation of corrective and preventive actions when problems are identified. Continuous improvement is essential to maintaining and enhancing impartiality over time. Benefits of maintaining impartiality. Maintaining impartiality is not only a regulatory requirement, but also offers several significant benefits for the laboratory, such as client trust. Clients have more confidence in the laboratory's results and services when they know that tests are conducted impartially. Reputation. A laboratory that maintains high standards of impartiality strengthens its reputation in the industry. Regulatory compliance. Impartiality helps meet the requirements of the ISO IEC 17,025 standard, facilitating the accreditation process and maintaining it. Scientific integrity. Impartiality ensures that test results are accurate and reproducible, contributing to scientific advancement. Now that you know what impartiality is and why it is important for your laboratory, let's see a story to reinforce what you have learned today. The story of BioCert Laboratories and Impartiality. In the small town of San Pedro, there was a laboratory called BioCert, known for its accurate and reliable analyses. Founded over 20 years ago, BioCert had built a solid reputation in the community and among its clients for its commitment to quality and impartiality. The challenge of BioCert. One day, BioCert received a request from a large client, Agrotech, a local agricultural company that was about to launch a new fertilizer on the market. Agrotech needed quality and safety tests to comply with government regulations. The relationship between BioCert and Agrotech had been long and fruitful, and Agrotech's success was also beneficial to the local economy. However, there was a problem. Agrotech's director, Mr. Smith, was an old friend of the laboratory director, Dr. Johnson. They had both studied together at university and maintained a close friendship. This relationship posed a potential conflict of interest, as any undue influence could jeopardize the impartiality of the test results. Maintaining impartiality. Aware of the importance of maintaining impartiality, Dr. Johnson gathered his team and reviewed together the principles of impartiality established by the ISO IEC 17025 standard. They decided to implement several measures to ensure that the personal relationship did not affect the results. 1. Separation of duties. Dr. Johnson decided not to be directly involved in the Agrotech project. Instead, he assigned an independent team to carry out the tests. This team had no personal or professional relationship with Mr. Smith. 2. External supervision. BioCert hired an external auditor to oversee the testing process and ensure that all impartiality and objectivity standards were met. 3. Transparency and documentation. The entire process was meticulously documented. Meetings, decisions, and procedures were recorded and were available for review at any time. The results. The tests were conducted thoroughly and professionally. In the end, the results showed that Agrotech's fertilizer met all safety and quality regulations. Thanks to the impartiality measures implemented, these results were accepted without question by the regulatory authorities and Agrotech's clients. Agrotech was able to successfully launch its new product, and BioCert maintained its reputation for integrity and reliability. The local community also benefited as the new fertilizer improved crops and the local economy. Lessons learned. The story of BioCert underscores the importance of impartiality in laboratories. Through the separation of duties, external supervision, and transparency, BioCert was able to ensure that its results were fair and objective despite personal relationships. For any laboratory, maintaining impartiality is not just a matter of regulatory compliance, but also of integrity and trust. The trust that clients place in a laboratory's results depends on the certainty that they are impartial and objective.